Bueno, yo creo que en un país normal lo normal es poder votar. Es decir, en primer lugar agradecer la gran tradición democrática que ha permitido que las personas, tanto partidarias del quedarse como del de irse, pues pudieran votar en un día como hoy.
¿Y qué te parece que hayan votado, que haya salido el sí a favor del Brexit y que se vayan a separar? ¿Cómo crees que les va a ir?
Yo creo que ha salido un resultado y ahora las personas que están al frente de los gobiernos, tanto autonómicos como estatales como europeos, tienen que gestionar la votación del pueblo y por tanto no voy a decidir si el resultado es favorable o no favorable, simplemente es el resultado que ha salido y se tiene que poner de acuerdo para gestionar la situación.
Acabamos de hablar con una chica británica que estaba un poquito enfadada porque el resultado ha salido más favorable al sí por la gente mayor. Ha habido más participación de la gente mayor que va a vivir menos años que la gente joven que ha votado por la permanencia, que probablemente su futuro esté en juego. ¿Qué te parece esto?
Bueno, a ver, es cierto, he visto que estaba muy polarizado a nivel de edades. También es verdad que la gente mayor, quizá al haber vivido más y al tener más experiencia, también tiene unos años que le otorgan un poder de decisión, quizá con una perspectiva a nivel temporal mayor que a los jóvenes, ¿no? Sí que es verdad que evidentemente los jóvenes pues tendrán que convivir con la decisión hasta el final. Pero te digo lo mismo que te he dicho antes, es decir, es la decisión que ha salido y tiene que ser un motivo de alegría el hecho de que se haya podido votar sobre cualquier tipo de decisión.
Irlanda del Norte ha pedido ya un referéndum para unirse a Irlanda. Parece que Escocia va por el mismo camino porque hace poquito que votaron para quedarse en Reino Unido precisamente porque estaba en la Unión Europea y ahora ya va a dejar de estarlo. Gibraltar, igual, Gibraltar es muy posible que también pida un referéndum para salir de Reino Unido. ¿Tú crees que España debería de hacer un referéndum para que votasen si quieren salir de la Unión Europea?
Entre otros motivos, tendría que hacer un referéndum sobre ello y sobre muchas otras cosas. Te lo dice alguien que es de Barcelona, además.
De Cataluña.
O sea, que os gustaría que en Cataluña se pudiera votar.
Como mínimo que se pudiera votar. Eso tendría que ser normal en cualquier país del mundo en el siglo XXI.
Where you come from?
I'm from Manchester, in England.
Did you vote for the Brexit?
Well, no, because I missed registration because I live here in Madrid at the moment on my year abroad for university.
Do you have an opinion about what's happened today, that the UK is going to be out of the European Union?
I'm quite shocked, along with a lot of other people that are here in Spain, France, Germany, doing their year abroad, because if it wasn't for Erasmus, because of the European Union, a lot of us couldn't be here now. Working in schools, studying at university, a lot of us wouldn't be able to do it because of what's happened. So it's a little bit scary, along with David Cameron leaving. A lot of young people, it was about between 60 and 70% of young people voted to stay in. So I think a lot of people are quite angry, myself included, that we don't really know what's going to happen. And a lot of young people are going to be missing out on opportunities that I've been very lucky to have this year.
Honestly, I think after 40 years, now we finally know that deep inside the English do not wish to be part of the European community. Otherwise they would have stayed. And it's always been a little bit duality with these people. They like the economics, they always were in fun, but generally speaking they're island people, and I think they just show today to the rest of Europe that they want to stay on their island and try to do their best on their own. Well, we are, of course, as Belgians, we're a very small country, so we're the founding fathers of the European community back 50, 60 years ago. And for us, being a small country, we know the benefits of being a part of a larger, bigger community. We have much more power as a smaller country being in a group than being on our own. Although politically speaking, in Belgium, we try to fight with one another too, of our own regions, like you have with Catalonia and the Madrid. We have that with the Flemish people and the French-speaking people. But generally speaking, the bigger world has become like a village. We need to be in a bigger group, otherwise we don't count at all.
No, not really. I think in the future we have no other chance than to be more united overall Europe. And therefore I'm pretty much astonished on the decision of Great Britain, and I'm somehow shocked. I would vote yes, but I assume I would be in the minority. I would say up today a majority would not like to be in the EU, and only a minority would like to be in. Yes, I think so. There is a need of a permanent change and adaptation to the needs, and it has to be some kind of a reformation in the EU. But if you're outside, you cannot influence that it's going in the right directions. That's the reason why I think the country should stay in and do whatever they can do to make forward and make a better organization than it is today. It's hard to say, because I think it will be a while, 1 to 2 years, until the whole process is over. And I think there are other things going on which have other influences, so I would not dare to guess what's really happening. I'm not sure.
I think it's a disgrace. I think we've made a dreadful decision. I think the future of the country is very uncertain, and it's been done for the worst of reasons. It's been done to preserve the Conservative Party. Thankfully, it's harmed David Cameron's reputation. But we should never have had the referendum in the first place. We didn't need it. It was only done to save his skin from the right wing of his own party. The country didn't want it, the country didn't need it. And I think it's created a real stir of the worst aspects of the British character, which is at its least xenophobic, at its worst downright racist. They voted purely on prejudice. They're not interested in the economic argument, because the economic argument for leaving doesn't make any sense. It's totally illogical. We're better off in Europe. They voted on one issue, and it's the issue of immigration. And the British people have an inbuilt prejudice about immigrants. It's been whipped up by right-wing politicians. It's almost like going back to the 1930s, taking these primitive fears and instincts of people that they're going to lose the jobs, they're going to lose the public services, health, education, etc., simply because we're flooded with immigrants, and we're not. It's a complete lie that's been fabricated by politicians that have no principles and no sense of responsibility. At the moment, there are probably 3 candidates. Michael Gove, who's the kind of intellectual leader of the Leave campaign, Boris Johnson, who's a complete oaf and a buffoon. He's a creation of the media. And possibly Theresa May, who's the current Home Secretary, who was for Remain but kept a very low profile during the campaign. So she hasn't kind of put all of her eggs in one basket by being Remain or Leave. She's kind of been neutral throughout the campaign, so she may well appeal to a broad swathe of the Conservative Party. And don't forget, it's the Conservative Party that will vote for the next Prime Minister, not the country. It's an internal matter for the Conservative Party, the same party that has got us in this mess. I mean, I can't emphasise it enough. It's an absolute disgrace, a terrible con trick that's been played on the British people by a right-wing government.
I think it's going to have massive economic consequences for the entire world, and it already has. In the United States, the Dow Jones has dropped 600 points, and the euro has gone from being valued at 1.6 US dollars to like 1.3. And I just think it was a very big mistake, and that they didn't view the issue as a whole. They focused more on immigration, and they didn't think about any of the other repercussions. I don't know anyone from the UK, but I'm going to visit there in a week, and I think it'll be interesting to see what it's like and how the people there react.
I am deceived. For Great Britain, I am deceived. But for Europe, I am enthusiastic. Because with now Great Britain, it was always difficult to get a step for a better Europe, in order to integrate more Europe. And I think without Great Britain, now is a chance to go a little better and faster for all other countries which want this. Perhaps the difficulty is not all countries of Europe want a more integrated Europe. Yes, it's not a question of money, it's a question of what we want for Europe. The big problem is now no country is big enough in the mondialization in Europe. No country. Germany, France, Italy, Great Britain, it's not possible. If we want to keep our model of society, our humanistic values, we have to decide to be together not to be bigger as other countries, but to give an example of a society, humanistic society for all the world. Fundamentally, France is a European country, Spain too, Italy too, Belgium too, Netherlands perhaps, but Sweden now too. And I see small states, Slovenia, Croatia, Baltic states, all they are okay. Now we are in, it's not possible to be out. We made a choice of society, not a political choice of Izquierda or the Reka, but a European project.